Good morning, YouTube. It's Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid, with an unboxing, and this is a Kickstarter deck that I believe funded back in March, and it is the Simplicity Tarot by Emilie Muñiz. I believe is her last name. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But like I said, it was a Kickstarter funded back in March. Just got it yesterday. And that was a pretty quick turnaround. I have some Kickstarter decks that were funded way back in November, and I still have not received them. And I'm not sure, I'm not sure where this was printed, if it was printed in China, but I do have one deck in particular. I back the Antiquities of Magic Oracle or reading cards back in November, and still haven't gotten them. Hoping to get them hopefully in August, but some of the decks, even with everything that's going on, some decks are just really have been put on the back burner, and others, funded at the height of the crisis, and I'm starting to get them in. So without much further ado, I love this gold bubble wrap packaging. I did open this up because there was tape wrapped around it, but I have not taken it out of the package. And it is packaged very well, very tightly. And there is the beautiful deck. And there is a beautiful bag. And let me see what else. Ooh. Let's put these off to the side for a second and see what's in this. Oh, got kind of crumpled and bent. I like this paper. I'll be able to use it. But some little extras were in this. It looks like artist paper. There's a thank you card, which is always nice to get. I keep these. It just says thank you. It's not signed, but I could use this for some collage work. Love this watercolor paper. The Simplicity Tarot Minimalism Art First Edition, limited indie edition, only 500 copies printed. Simplicity Tarot Minimalism Art First Edition was created to help anyone read tarot with ease. Some color was purposely left out in different areas of each card to create a canvas, simplistic coloring book feeling. I can't speak today. Minimalism art. We also kept the main important key tarot elements and removed some of the more complicated symbology. Keywords were added at the bottom of each tarot card for easy interpretation. So I will tell you, there were 2 editions of this deck, and I went back and forth, but I opted to get the cheaper one because I was backing several Kickstarters at the time. And I will tell you now that I wish I got what is called the Diverse Edition. It has more color to it. It has more race in it, because due to the coloring, different skin tones depicted. And in the version I got, there's not. It's a very coloring book feel, because I have seen the illustrations and the differences, and I wish I would have backed it, but this deck is still available on Kickstarter. So after the walkthrough, if you like it, not Kickstarter, sorry, Etsy. It's available on Etsy, and you can find it at Simplicity Tarot Shop. And she's got quite a bit of the editions left that I ordered, but she's running out of the version I think most people will want, which is the Diverse Edition with more color and diversity in it. But that deck is $15 more. And I go, why didn't I get that deck? But I think it was cost. And I just, you know, it was one of those decks I was going, do I really need another RWS clone? It's very, very minimalistic. I went back and forth. Sometimes I liked it. Sometimes I thought, oh, I could live without it. But it was on Kickstarter, at least the edition I got, very affordable. Very, very affordable. And it was way under the $50 mark. I think it was even under $40. But the diverse with more color, and it doesn't have that much color. It's just, I think, the skin tone. She colored people with skin tone for that deck. It was like $15, $20 more. And you will see on her Etsy shop, it's $15 more. So the deck now on Etsy, the version I got that you're going to see is it's $50, and the diverse edition is $75. So, but there's only a few copies left of that one. That one is selling out now. I just checked Etsy and there's still some available. So, let's keep going. Sorry, I know you want to see the cards. And here is a depiction, a little example of the guide. Oh, so there is no guidebook. I think it's a digital. It's a digital guidebook, which I did not remember, you know, it's so long ago. All the Simplicity Tarot card descriptions, upright keywords, and reverse keywords can be found conveniently on simplicitytarot.com. So there are upright keywords and reversal keywords. So, so that's an example. So we'll look at that in just a second. Yeah, this is what I got 2 of these, looks like. So, oh, I got a card. So I got copy 116 out of 500. So, yeah, I like having these numbered cards. So that's the back of the tarot deck. What else do we get here? Another thank you. She has a Facebook tarot group. Yeah, I know she has courses on her website too. And I got a card. It came a little bit bent because the tape, you know, there was tape wrapped around the package. But this is an example of the Wheel of Fortune, Good Luck and Change. And again, the back of it. So I'm going to keep that. Maybe I'll put some heavy books on it and hope it'll flatten out. So I'll put that to the side as well. So finally, now to the deck. I'm going to grab my scissors. And we are going to get into it. Now, while I'm doing this, I will tell you, if you opt not to get this deck right now, if it's not in, you know, financially, or you're not sure, and she happens to sell out of the indie edition, do not despair. It has been bought by US Games. It's going to be printed in 2021 by US Games, not this iteration, but the diverse iteration with more color and diversity, the deck that I didn't get. So I'm going back and forth whether I need to hurry up on Etsy and snatch it up, but it is $75. So, you know, I'm debating, you know, if I don't get it, if they run out, you will have a chance to get the diverse edition through, you know, it'll be a mass market publication printed by US Games. So that's good to know. So it'll, instead of $75, you'll probably be paying $20 or $22 for it. So I really like the bag, and this, you'll have to, if you like this, she's selling them on her Etsy shop, but think they might be about $15 because I backed it on Kickstarter. It came free with it was a, you know, an upgrade or a stretch goal rather. So it's a nice 2-piece box, and we'll go around. Yes, Emilie Muñiz. And here is the back. Or maybe there is a guidebook inside. Included is also a guidebook. Okay, so now I will say, oh, look at how beautiful that is. It's the inside, but the sides, that's really nice. I like this watercolor, coloring book feel to it. Now, the box is a nice sturdy 2-piece box. It does not have a tight seal. It's not super tight, which is kind of a good thing, because if you don't have your cards and you close it, you can still open it, especially with the thumb cutouts. But with the heavier cards in it, it's a looser seal, so you don't want to just pick it up by the top, because you could lose all your cards. So, okay, so it does come with a guidebook. I couldn't remember, so I'm really happy that it does. Because I do love reading the artist interpretation. We'll go back to that. Let's look at the cards, because, yeah, we're already into this video. So if you see, look at the edging. It's a beautiful, it's mostly matte, but it does have a hint of sparkle, but it isn't like that heavy, you know, glittery metallic, you know, that kind of flakes. It does have some sparkle to it, which is really nice. So that's one good reason to snatch up the indie deck while you can, if you like this deck. Again, the beautiful backs. Cardstock. It's not completely the rose petal finish, but it is I would say a matte cardstock with maybe a slight coating on it. It should be easy to shuffle. It does feel like a US Games cardstock, like maybe the I'm trying to think, the Ethereal Visions, maybe? Similar? It's a nice cardstock, but it's not the typical indie deck, like rose petal thick cardstock that's a lot of creators are doing. So that might in and of itself, might make a lot of people happy. All right, so let's get into it. And we're going to get closer down so you can get the best look possible. And let's see if we can move my little moons out of the way and we can get closer yet. Sorry, my finger got in there. All right, so we've got the Fool. Now, do you see it's very minimalistic coloring? It is like if you were coloring in an adult coloring book, which I do. This is sometimes what you would do. Sometimes it's hard to get flesh tones, so we skip, you know, skin. If you don't have the right colored pencils or you don't know how to blend pencils. But I like it. So the Fool, and down here, it does have just a very thin border, but it's not really obtrusive because the background is white. So the keywords are carefree and new beginnings. So this is really great for a beginner, I would say. And for those of us who just like simplicity sometimes. I really love these card backs. The Magician, manifestation and power. Now, granted, in the diverse deck, some of these figures are going to be colored. Their skin is going to be colored, and there might be some more color in the background. The High Priestess, intuition and mystery. Now I'm wondering if I can still get in, because it looks like the imagery, I wish it would have taken up, I'm looking at it, I wish it would have taken up more, you know, if they could have stretched this out and taken up more, because I'm looking just through my phone and I'm pretty close up and it still looks rather far away. So I'm gonna see if I could get in just a little bit more. I'm sorry if I'm bumping this, but I just really want you to get the best look possible. Okay, there we go. I think that's good. So yes, you see the pomegranates, the two pillars. It has a lot, you know, the main symbology of the RWS, but not all of it. She wanted to keep it very simple. Simplicity Tarot. The Empress, fertility and nurturing. So she is going with, it looks like a little bump, pregnant baby bump, Empress. You know, thinking about it, I would, because those of us who are, I'm not opposed to the pregnant Empress, but I think with new modern decks, if there are WS clones, you know, the Empress could also be depicted maybe as an artist or a writer or somebody who also gives birth to new ideas, creative projects. I'd like to see a little bit more of that, but this has kind of got like a medieval feeling, kind of like the RWS pictures, so I could see how she's getting it keeping it traditional, but not complicated. The Emperor set rules and authority. The Hierophant, beliefs and ethics. It's a female, I like that. More like the Pappas. The Lovers. Now I do know in the other deck that the Lovers are colored, their hair and skin, and it's quite lovely. Romance and commitment. The Chariot, progress and movement forward. Maybe it should say forward movement. I don't know. Potato, potato, right? Strength, self-control, and courage. These are beautiful, you know, sketch drawings with watercolor. Yes, it looks very much like a, you know, coloring book. Like if you get some of those tarot coloring books or tarot card decks that you can color in, that's what this reminds me of. The Hermit, introspective and solitude. Maybe it should say introspection and solitude. Wheel of Fortune, good luck and change. This is a really nice cardstock. It should be very, very... I'm trying to think. I did a recent unboxing of the Star Seeker Tarot, and this has a similar thickness, but that has more of a rose petal finish. This has a slight rose petal, but it's not as heavy. It's not going to be sticky for shuffling. Justice, balance and fairness. The Hanged Man, sacrifice and surrender. Oh, I like the Death card. Endings and new beginnings. Temperance, patience and duality. The Devil, bondage and toxicity. I do love the color palette. The Tower, destruction and sudden change are the keywords for this deck. But do you see not a lot of, I mean, there's a lot of empty white space. And I think it would, it may or may not be with the other edition, the diverse edition. The Star, hope and spirituality. That's a beautiful star card. The Moon, illusions and fears. So it does have, you know, key components. Oh, we got a naked baby, but we're not seeing all of its parts, so I guess that's good. And he's not colored in, but I love the face on this sun. Happiness and success. Card is sticking a little bit. Judgment, conclusions, and judgment. The World, completion and achievement. Spiritual guide. Well, this must be an extra card. And I didn't remember, like I said, I don't remember. I backed some Kickstarters and did pre-orders, you know, all around the same time, and you just forget about them and what's in them. Another extra card, spiritual cleansing. Some people like when there's extra cards included. I will use them in the deck if they are, you know, if they are extra cards, especially if I like them. These two I would definitely use. Okay, so now we're into the Ace of Wands, work and creation. Two of Wands, contemplating and enterprise. Maybe it should be contemplation and enterprise. I wonder if the US games, when that edition comes out, if they might change this. You know, some of these keywords. Contemplating and enterprise. I think contemplation and enterprise go better together. Three of Wands, progress and productivity. Four of Wands, celebration and stability. It's a very festive card. I like that they're dancing. And this is very traditional. Five of Wands, competition and fighting. I don't know if I'd use fighting, competition, and strife, competition, and challenge, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Six of Wands, victory and progress. So very traditional. This is a very much an RWS clone, and again, I could see giving this to a beginner, suggesting this, a wonderful beginner deck. Seven of Wands, valor and perseverance. Even though they are kind of wearing medieval-like clothing, it's, I don't know, the simplicity of the line work, the simplicity of the color palette may be just a little bit not as overwhelming to a beginner. Eight of Wands, acceleration and movement, and also with these unobtrusive keywords. You know, they are very unobtrusive here. So it's a good deck for that. See, very traditional. Nine of Wands, guarded and resilience. So it should say guarded and resilient, don't you think? I think so. And I think I could see, you know, once it goes to mass market, I think you know, US Games would probably make those changes. See again here, 10 of Wands, burden and laboring. So I'd say burden and labor, right? Let me know in the comments what you think. Those keywords should be changed a little bit. Page of Wands, new ideas and creativity. Knight of Wands, adventure and passion. And as I'm handling these cards, they do feel really nice, you guys. I think you'd be quite happy with them. It's a great middle ground with sturdy cardstock, but not so thick that you can't riffle shuffle them with ease. Queen of Wands, courageous and driven. King of Wands, leadership and charismatic. I would say leadership and charisma, right? The Ace of Coins. So now we're in the Pentacles. Prosperity and new opportunity. There we go. There's a clone, definite clone card for the Two of Coins. So juggling and multitasking. Yeah, so that's a straight up clone, I would say. Three of Coins, art and collaboration. I love the little friar's head haircut here. Excuse me. It's very dry in here. Four of Coins, greed and control. You know, I think that, well, you can only put so many keywords on a card, but that's not the only thing the Four of Coins could be viewed as. It could be holding on to your resources, saving for a rainy day. Not necessarily, you know, that's not a greedy thing. That's a very sensible thing. But, like I said, you can only put so many keywords on the front. Five of Coins, illness and poverty. Or I would just put, you know, you could also put just misfortune, hard times. Six of Coins, charity and help. Giving could also be in there, but I guess that falls under charity. All right, Seven of Coins, investment and determination. Eight of Coins, work and learning a skill. I think, well, the Eight of Coins I view as, well, it could be learning a skill. I would view like the Page maybe, you know, more in the learning, and the Eight of Coins more in the perfecting of a skill, but either way works. And you could read the card both ways, depending on the reading and the other cards shown in the situation. Nine of Coins, abundance and luxury. Ten of Coins, wealth and family unity. Yeah, you've got the components here of the traditional RWS. Pixie's art in there. Page of Coins, admiration of money news. Oh, admiration and money news. I don't know why I saw of in there. Knight of Coins, productivity and practical. So maybe productivity and practicality would be a better way to put it. Maybe. That's just me. Queen of Coins, nurturing and security. King of Coins, leadership and abundance. Now we're going into the cups. The Ace of Cups, love and emotions. Two of Cups, partnership and true love. Three of Cups, festivities and fun. I also view this as kind of a friendship, social card, but I guess you get that with the festivities and fun. Four of Cups, boredom and lacking interest. I guess that's the main way people read this card. It's not the only way you can read this card, but like I said, only so many words will fit in the front of a card. Five of Cups, pessimism and depression. Six of Cups, the past and innocence. The past or nostalgia maybe. Look at this head, cracks me up right there. Seven of Cups, options and pipe dreams. I like that. Pipe dreams. I do like that. Eight of Cups, walking away and separation. Nine of Cups, pride and wishes fulfilled. Ten of Cups, contentment and family. Page of Cups, emotional message and a surprise. You can barely see it because it's not colored, but there is the fish there in the cup, very traditional. Knight of Cups, faithfulness and romance. Sometimes I don't view the Knight of Cups as faithfulness. I tend to view him as a Lothario or a Casanova, kind of jumping from one romance, quick to fall in love, and definitely a romancer, but not quite the guy to stick around. You know what I mean? But there are different ways you can read the cards. That's mostly how it's come up in my readings for other people. Queen of Cups, intuition, and it says empathetic, but I think it should say empathy. So intuition and empathy. But it says empathetic, right? Don't you think it should be empathy? King of Cups, so he's empathetic and caring. So that makes sense. The Ace of Swords, so we're now in the swords. Success and logic. Two of Swords, crossroads and undecided. I like that card. I love the pastels. Three of Swords, heartbreak and despair. So it's a very traditional depiction. And so is this Four of Swords, rest and meditation. You don't know if this is supposed to be a real person or, you know, one of those statues on top of a sepulcher, you know, or coffin, like they did in the medieval times, because it's not colored. 5 of Swords, conflict and defeat. It also, I guess it depends which side you're on, though. If you're this guy, it could be success, conflict and success. 6 of Swords, escape and travel. Seven of Swords, so they've got the traditional, you know, meanings of sneakiness and thievery. But this can be read so many different ways. But I guess if you have to put some keywords on, those are the most obvious. 8 of Swords, bondage and imprisonment. Maybe self-bondage and imprisonment would be a better way to describe it, but that's just me. It is a pretty card, though. 9 of Swords, anxiety and stress. Ten of Swords, betrayal and suffering. This time they got it. This looks like a female figure instead of the normal male. The Page of Swords, on guard and new information. Knight of Swords, aggression and rapidness. Queen of Swords, independent and assertive. And the King of Swords, dominant and stern. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So this is a good weight cardstock. It's a chunky little deck. If you saw my Hilda tarot walkthrough, that deck, you know, when I hold it in my hands, it doesn't take up my whole hands because it's that thinner linen cardstock. And it's, well, these do shuffle like a, well, they are very new. They do shuffle like a, you know, those rose petal type cardstock decks, but I think a lot of it also has to do with the gilding on the edges that needs to be worked through, but it's a nice cardstock. And let's see. I'm going to do my weird little side shuffle here and see how, oh yeah, it goes through, yeah. See, it's got a nice little mix in there. Yeah, feels similar to the Star Seeker, but that, again, a little smoother rose petal-y finish, just a little bit more. This would feel similar to some of the better US Games quality. It is a nice thickness. Let me see if I can riffle shuffle this. It seems to be a standard tarot size. Let me see once I get my hands around it if we can. Let's see. Go up a little bit higher. Yeah. Oh, I can't even bend it. I can barely get my hands around it, you guys. Yeah, I suck at this. I can't. I have really small hands. That's why I do that weird side shuffle and overhand shuffles. I think this, once you work it through, it's gonna be really, really, really nice. Okay, so quick look at the guidebook to see what you get in it. does it have a... Has a table of contents. So you get about the Simplicity Tarot, how to prepare and care for your deck, how to care for your Simplicity Tarot deck, and simple recommended tips, reading tarot reversals, also quick and simple tarot reading tips, simple tarot spreads. Then it goes into the cards, about the author, and then illustration and social links. It also has something about the additional cards. So let's look at the spreads on 21 to 25. Page 21. Wait. 21 to 25. Okay, so she has a Celtic Cross tarot spread. She has a 3-card tarot spread with past, present, future, or thoughts, feelings, intentions, finances, romance, health, problem, the cause, the solution, truth, conflict, lesson, their thoughts, their actions, outcome, month 1, month 2, month 3. My daily reading tarot spread. How will my day be? Guidance for my day. The outcome of my day. That's a good one. My daily 1-card reading. The horseshoe tarot spread. And then she goes into the cards. I wanted to look because I just saw this. She goes example, okay, so she does a 3-month spread. So she has month 1, month 2, month 3. Also interpreting the cards as a whole message. Let's also look really quick at the additional cards. 73, I'm glad it has a table of contents here. Additional cards, I've added 2 additional cards to the Simplicity Tarot deck. These 2 cards are optional to use. If you choose not to include them in your reading, simply just set them aside. Read and work with these 2 extra cards as you would with any tarot cards. So, spiritual cleansing and spiritual guide. Spiritual cleansing. The scene takes place at a waterfall beachfront, which represents cleansing by Mother Earth. A spiritual cleanse ritual led by a shaman is taking place. The incense is lit on the ground to purify the area. A woman with her arm wide open, maybe that should be arms. Should be arms wide open and her eyes closed, allows the shaman to spiritually cleanse her with a bundle of fresh herbs. The shaman says her prayers and wipes the woman head to toe, allowing the herbs to rid her of impurities and negativity. So that's what's going on in the card. And the upright key concepts, when the spiritual cleansing card is drawn in a reading, it can indicate in general that a spiritual cleaning of some kind is needed to reshift vibrations and bring in refreshing positive vibrations. Some suggestions are smudging with sage, refreshing oneself in natural waters, cleansing oneself with spiritual plants, grounding or applying feng shui, rearranging things such as furniture to shift the energy in the room. Reversal concepts. This can indicate a need for inner spiritual cleansing through self-reflection and ridding oneself of negative thoughts. negative behaviors, and emotional attachments with negative people. Speak positive things into the world and you will manifest it. Let go of the fear that blocks you from achieving your highest potential. It is time to achieve alignment with yourself. And then there's a similar thing for the spiritual guide card. And here is the author, Emilie Muñiz, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and she fell in love with tarot since she was a child and has never looked back. Now a professional tarot reader, Emilie has over 20 years of tarot reading experience under her belt, teaches tarot reading to others, divines with other forms of divination, such as divination with the coffee cup, Lenormand, Gypsy Witch Oracle cards, and practices Puerto Rican spirituality, such as espirituismo. So I think that's why there was maybe a little bit of a language, maybe English isn't her first language. That's why the keywords, you know, were on, but, you know, they were, what's the word? I don't know what the word is. But yeah, she could have picked a different adjective in some cases, or but yeah, I mean, they were right on, but she just had to pick the other form of the word. And I think that's something, when the mass market deck comes out, I think that's something US Games might correct. But it's, you know, the meanings are the typical meanings that we all know and love for the cards. So this is a great little white book. It's a nice matte feeling book. Impressions on the deck, great quality. I love the gilding. The box is beautiful. There is a lot of white space in this version that I got, the minimalistic version. So like I said, if you are interested in this deck or seeing the diverse edition, because there's pictures on the Etsy website, go to Etsy and click find the Simplicity Tarot or Simplicity Tarot Shop, and you will see both decks. They're both on there right now, but this is the only printing. She said this is the only printing of this deck that, you know, both iterations that she's going to do in the indie version, because it is going to go to mass market. Now this one is not going to mass market, so this one's cheaper. It's $40, and if you want it, you know, because it's never going to be available again. If you know, value, if you're a collector, that might be something you're interested in. The other deck, which is $75, the diverse edition, $75 on her website. There's only a few left, and I think it's $8 shipping too. It's going to be made into mass market deck in 2021, printed by US Games. Okay, so this was kind of a long, let me see what I'm at 48 minutes. Oh my gosh. So thank you for sticking with me, but it is a new deck, and I know some of you may be interested in it. It is still available. Let me know in the comments below what you think, what your thoughts are. I love it. I will use it, and I think it's a really, really great beginner deck, and even something, you know, if you just want something, an easy reader, this seems to be like it will be a very easy reader. So yeah, please, if you found any value to this video, please click a like or subscribe if you haven't already. I'm a fairly small, new, teeny tiny channel, and I would really, really appreciate it. And I thank you to all my subscribers. So I will see you soon, very, very soon, for, I think I have another new deck coming in the mail. I think it's coming today. So look out for that later in the week. So I will see you soon. Have the most wonderful of days, and I will see you soon.